channel is for entertainment purposes only, not to be taken as legal advice. Welcome back, everybody. It's Tuesday. Oh, the weekend went by so fast. I hope you had a great weekend. I know that I did. I was hanging out with friends. I was going out, having a really good time. And, you know, the weather's changing quite drastically here in Seattle. So a lot is happening. And I'm excited for the changes that are going on because everything's growing. The best place to be is in Washington State during the summertime. I have been all around the country and I have not found a better place. Well, today's a big subject today, everybody. And it's an important one because we need to know how to discharge. We discharge people's debts every single week. I would say that the #1 service requested by Creditor Academy is the credit discharge. And really for the most of the individuals that are looking for remedy or in a place to be, I really want to make us famous for it. We've discharged over $2 million worth of debts that people have had. And today I'm here to share that secret. What's the secret, Paul Michael? How do you do it? Well, it's not so much of a secret because, well, I'm just going to tell you. Well, is it a secret? Is it not a secret? I'll just go ahead and tell you. But our intention is to teach you how to do this on your own, okay? There's so much of a plethora of information when it comes to discharging debts that we need something consistent. I love consistency when discharging. I want to say by this day and this time, the debt is going to be cleared and have a pretty accurate time frame with that. And I'm going to teach you how we do it. Well, I'm going to teach you how to do it. And really the core of how to know how to do it is to know the difference between lawfully discharging and between legally discharging. So many individuals are legally trying to discharge something. It never works. Never. I just hit your head against a brick wall with the amount of people that fail at trying to discharging because they don't know the difference between legal and lawful. And I'm about to go over that pretty extensively. Yep. Before we get this, welcome to Creditor Academy. If you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel and hit the notification bell, now is the time to do it, you know. And if you're interested in us at Creditor Academy, I highly implore you to come be a Masterclass member and try us out. At Creditor Academy, we have really high standards. I personally have high standards. I remember my father told me when I first started my business when I was really young, I said, Dad, how do you get clients? How is it that you go ahead and grow your business to be the success that it is today? And he's like, son, I have really high standards. If you have high standards, Paul Michael, people will come. Because people will want to be with an organization with the same standard that you do. And as long as you market that standard very effectively, so then people can hear about how you're organized and how you put things together, then people will come. And then they'll also see it for themselves. And I'd like to, you know, somewhat pride ourselves on high standards. Creditor Academy is approaching 50 full-time staff. We're at 43 or something right now. When I checked this week. So and all of this staff is really to meet my high standards. If you have a really good vision, then you need a big staff because it takes a big staff to bring up your to the level of the high standard of the vision that you have. But you got to have vision. If you don't have vision, then there's no point in doing anything at all. All right. With that being said, for the people that are watching right now, if you're wondering, Paul Michael, I love it. I want to get remedy. Do it for me. How do I go ahead and get your remedy services? I'm going to show you. It's on our website, which is www.creditoracademy.com. I just updated it. I'm still kind of around the contents a little bit here. But once you go to the homepage of our website, which looks like this, bada boom, bada bing, you're going to scroll down. It's past Masterclass membership, which you should join. It's past book a session with with an educational counselor, which, by the way, our educational counselors are the ones that show you how to sign up for our classes. Also, if you have any technical difficulty with our LMS platform, our learning management system, then we have tech team available to help you there. This is a breakdown of all of our classes that we have here at Creditor Academy. Freshman Sovereignty 101 is included with your Masterclass membership, so you can see our standard of our classes and our modules that we put together. But past the About Us, you're going to see I want a remedy now. I want remedy now. It should be I want remedy now. And all you got to do is click on Learn More, and then there's book a consultation. Take control of your credits, your credit score, your credit. We go into detail about it. You hit book a consultation. It fills up fast, but then you just go ahead and you select the day and the time. You have to make sure that the time zone is correct where you're located, so then we can meet you at the appropriate time. But that's it. Then a representative will sit down with you, and we'll go through the entire process. And we do it for so many people, and it's just going to make sense. It really is going to make sense. When we sit down with you, we're going to look at your credit, where you're at currently. I mean, we've seen people with bankruptcies, with foreclosures, with late credit card payments, with student loan. There is not a single situation that we have seen yet that we could not handle. And again, it's all because we go over the difference between legal and lawful, which I'm going to cover with you now, right now. All right. Okay, let's get started. So I'm going to show a graph here between legal and lawful first. I think this is a good place to start. So you can kind of see the definition of words, okay? So you can kind of get into your mind what legal versus lawful words mean. There is the de facto government, the de facto, which is the legal realm. And then there's the lawful side, which is the de jure, the private, the free. The de jure is the constitutional republic, and the legal is really the democratic socialist society that there is. But they use these words in order to entrap us into contracts that bring us into their system all of the time. And if you want your remedy, all you have to do is apply an administrative process that has the lawful language that is inside of there. So let's look at a couple of examples. On the legal side, there's a legal person versus a lawful person. There's a male and female versus a man and woman. I mean, I hear all the time, Fox News, CNN, you name it, YouTube, and the like. What are we hearing the most about? Oh, do you identify as a male or a female? What's your pronoun? You notice no one utilizes the lawful language. They're utilizing the legal terms, right? Are you a male or a female? This is wrong. This is why it's moving us away from God, because we're not talking about the man and woman, which is the inherent biology. We're talking about, and they're just bastardizing it. And this is what they're utilizing inside of the university system. They're teaching legal language to students, not lawful. Because if you say man and woman, you can't mess with that. But in the legal side, they can say, oh, male and female, well, those are just terms that you can identify with and whatever they say, right? There's parents, but then there's mother and father. There's children and kids versus sons and daughters. These are specific titles. There's Mr., Mrs., Miss, but then there's no titles at all. There's no title for a living person. It's just your name. The all caps name, then the proper name. The proper name could also be said the common law name, right? That's your living name, right? Upper, lowercase. There's marriage license, and then there's proclamation of lawful marriage. At Creditor Academy, I think I married in the past year 12 people in the private. It's really great. I love it. It's simple. It's straightforward. I get you the proclamation of lawful marriage documentation. If you become a member and you request that service, I'll give you the whole documents. I love it when two individuals come together in matrimony under God, and they want to have a legitimate relationship with one another that breeds and develops a family. And I'm all about that. I'm happy to provide you with all that paperwork to all members, absolutely, anytime. Birth certificate versus birth record. Okay, I'm not going to read all of these. Motor vehicle versus car. And then this one right here, second and third constitution versus organic constitution. Okay, now follow me on this one now, because this is where the discharge kind of comes in. I would also say Democrat, socialist versus republic. Yeah, so there's that. All right, so follow me on this. We have a class called sophomore year, and sophomore year is called Become Private. Become Private. That's this one right here. So Become Private is your SPC documentation, your status correction, your private ID, and your private badge. Okay, I just wanted to mention that really quickly because on the ID, which we followed after Patrick Devine, this is his template and everything like that, which I just modernized it a little bit. But what's interesting about this is when you look, when on the back of this card, we have a little statement. Here's the front of the card, here's the back. And on the back, it says, Paul Michael Rowland, of the sovereignty of the people as outlined in the original organic Constitution of the United States of America, December 15th, 1791, of the de jure and sui juris. Okay, this is not only I'm referencing the lawful organic Constitution, but also I'm making even that delineation about the jurisdiction that you're under. Now, follow me on this, okay? The history behind the organic Constitution of 1787, okay? The original Constitution for the United States was ratified in 1787, but later it was amended with the Bill of Rights in 1791, December 15th. It is the founding legal charter of the United States Republic and is referred to as the organic Constitution because it reflects the organic law. The law that's derived from the natural rights of man, the common law, and the foundational agreements of the sovereign states. Does that make sense? The organic law? It basically also limits federal power, but emboldens state sovereignty. This is why we have a hierarchy within this system. It's God, we the people over the state over the federal government over the artificial entities, okay? So this is all under the common law, where our rights are assumed, not restricted, unless we give consent. And this is because of the republic of the people, by the people, for the people, in which we hold our position under the constitutional organic Constitution, okay? Now, like we were just seeing though, but Paul Michael, what is that? Have you ever seen this before? Has anybody ever told you about the second and third Constitution? Has anybody ever broken that down for you? Okay, so follow me on this one. The second and third Constitution, well, let's start with the second. The second Constitution refers to the 14th Amendment. That was back in 1868, okay? It was just right after the Civil War. And the 14th Amendment dramatically altered the nature of citizenship because it took the sovereignty of the individual and began converting it into a corporate structure in the U.S. legal structure, not lawful structure, the legal structure, okay? So there were slaves, they were coming from the boats, they were black, and then they said, you're, what was it, 1/3 of a person or something like that? They had the 14th Amendment to bring them in to be citizens, but they had no rights, basically. They were less than a person. Identified. So the reason why this is referred to as the second Constitution is because when they saw, hey, if we can put African Americans into this category to where they have limited rights and they're under the federal guardianship, essentially, well, what if we create a system, a legal system, a legal structure under a corporation where we can have people register for the same thing? And this is where it was introduced of the concept of U.S. citizenship as a federal citizen distinct from a state citizen, okay? This created a legal structure and shifted the jurisdiction towards the federal government. So then they did this through what's called contractual governance, because it's basically implying that participation in federal programs like Social Security, your birth certificate, your driver's license, creates an adhesion contract, okay? Now, that was the second Constitution, okay? What's the third Constitution? That is the act in 1871 of incorporation. You see, the second Constitution is all about citizenship and putting you into making you a federal employee, essentially. But if you're a federal employee, where are you going to work? You need to work for a company, right? Like when you go to Costco and you start working for them, you work inside their building, inside their territory, right? So the third Constitution, the Act of Incorporation of 1871, was the act of 1871 when Congress created a municipal corporation for none other than the District of Columbia. Oh boy, here we go. So they effectively created a corporate entity, which was called the United States Inc., United States Incorporated, which was a legal fiction that mimics the Republic, but operates under commercial admiralty maritime law. Does that make sense? Does that come in? The admiralty and maritime law was governed through statutory law, commercial codes, and none other than the UCC. This is why the SPC process is so vital to your freedom, because we need to reestablish your status and get you outside of this beast system, this United States Inc. So the Constitution, this third Constitution, was rewritten and reinterpreted in all caps to apply to the corporate version of the United States, not the sovereign republic. That's why you'll see the Constitution, but it's not the Constitution, the organic Constitution. The federal government became basically a for-profit corporation under none other than the international bankers. Oh, man. Cool. Let me do kind of a comparison here, okay? Let's think of a concept. And then we're going to get into the discharge. I can assure you that we're going to get into the discharge. But we need to do a comparison here, okay? Citizenship under the organic Constitution means a state citizen or a sovereign. Citizenship under the second Constitution is a U.S. citizen, meaning a federal subject. Citizenship under the third Constitution is an artificial person under the corporate governance, your straw man, your numbered person, okay? Now we look at citizenship. Now let's look at the law system, okay? The law system under the organic Constitution is common law and natural law. The law system under the second Constitution is civil statutory law, okay? And then the law system under the third Constitution is what I just said, admiralty and commercial law, like the UCC. So, yeah. So there's a little summary there, okay? There's a little summary. Wait a second. So what we want to do is, now that you kind of got the story here, is we need to now introduce you, before we get to the discharging, into the legal versus lawful debt discharging, meaning there's a step before you get there. Now, we're able to do it as a service for almost all individuals, but we want to get you into a status to where you can reclaim yourself and do this on your own as much as you want. So now that you understand the history of the constitutional shift, now we need to get practical. So we got to talk about discharging the debt. And the difference between what's legal and what's lawful. In the legal corporate system, debt is managed through policy and payment plans and interest and fees and also enforcement. You're basically presumed to be a debtor operating under the public side of the system, but there is the lawful remedy in the private. So under the original common law framework, you're not obliged to pay debt with interest forever. Lawful discharge means that you're settling the debt without transferring interest-bearing instruments, and you're offering basically a negotiable instrument. You're asserting your right of offset, or you're using your fiduciary capacity to settle the accounts. Some of this process is based upon the UCC protections, contract law, and trust principles, and all of that. So I'm going to give you an example. Okay, you walk in, you're coming to our virtual office. You sit down with us. You're just like, Paul Michael, I have this, and this, that it is absolutely destroying my life. I have so much debt that I have to repay. My 9-to-5 job, I can only do the minimum payments. And sometimes when I can't do the minimum payments, I end up getting behind, which then there's a late fee. And then the interest accrues more to a point to where even the debt that I'm paying down, the interest rate is still bearing me. And it's extending it for long periods of time.
We can't hear you, Paul Michael.
He froze.
Okay. Before the United States or Trump got into office, he was just like, man, we are paying so much debt or so much interest on our debt that we can't personally keep up. And we get further and further behind. So it's the same thing with you. You end up drowning so much inside of the debt that you owe that you can't get your leg up. And when you can't get your leg up once again, now you're a slave to what? You're a slave to the 9-to-5 system, which the value of the money that you're earning is less than what the debt that you're incurred with. And I mean, basically, the only remedy that I see a lot of people that try to utilize is a jubilee, right? A jubilee is just waiting 7 years. 7 years, I'm like, okay, the debt finally dropped off, so now I don't have to have that obligation. But then for 7 years, you're just tied like a ball and chain to this line of debt. And that's what we need to fix. So you come into our virtual office, we sit down, we look at where you're at, and we start talking about our lawful strategy in order to get you out of the situation. So we put together an administrative process for you. We teach you about the lawful language that we're using to get you out of this situation, okay? Once the lawful language and you also understand how the debt is being applied, now you can take the onus and responsibility yourself and be self-sufficient thereafter. Goal at Creditor Academy, make you self-sufficient. So you're not relying on a guru anymore on, oh, you got to watch this. You got to watch this latest video if you want to get or join my class if you want to really get the remedy. Let's start with the remedy. It makes no sense to try to go to school, go to all these classes, and be stressed about the debt in situation that you're under, that you can't concentrate on what I'm teaching you and all my other professors that are teaching you as well. So we need to get you in a relaxed space. We need to get you some stretching. Okay. I do have the expectation, though, that if I teach you how to discharge consistently on your own, that you do follow kind of a saying that we have here at Creditor Academy. I learned this a long time ago when I was doing breakdancing in nursing school. That was super fun. But when we were breakdancing in nursing school, we said, each one teach one. So if I teach you this, right, then I really want you to go help out others. When you go walking in the street, there are so many individuals that need discharging and need their credit situation handled. So I hope that you would, if we do this for you, that you'll do the same for others. So we do 3 things primarily, 4 things, okay? So what we do is one is we give you a consultation. We give you one of 2 consultations. And it's up to you on which consultation that you want. The first consultation is for those who want the debt discharge. They're like, Paul Michael, just discharge this debt. I really need help. Can't keep my head above water. And I need to sit down and I need to learn how to be self-sufficient. Now, not everybody is in that situation. Even myself, I had really good credit. And I was just, I was blessed enough to keep, my payments and bills paid on time. So if you're in a situation where you got a lot of good credit and you really don't have that much to discharge, then I would suggest our second consultation, which is the follow-up to the first, okay? That consultation is about giving you access to funds really, really fast. Just like a savings account, if you go to work and work a 9 to 5, I used to work at this place called Del Taco. I was the burrito maker, man. So I would just... And then we had these yellow shirts, and the yellow shirts on the back of it, it had this like pinto bean with sunglasses on. And what the pinto bean did was he had his sunglasses on and he was inside this tub, and he had this little bubble that says, "We're slow cooking the beans," which we did. We actually slow cooked them for about, I think 6 or 8 hours, something like that. So I was your burrito guy. So working a 9 to 5 job, every little money that I could save that the government didn't tax the crap out of me for, whatever money I had left over, I put in a little piggy bank. And I'd be like, and I remember I saved and I saved and I got it to like $5,000 one day. And I just thought, man, I am so rich. I'm so good to go. But it took me months and months and months to get it to there. Credit is viewed as the same as your Del Taco money. It's the same. Comprende? The Del Taco money is credit. It's fiat, just like the credit on the credit card, okay? So all you got to do is learn how to build up your personal credit or even your business credit on that with your private entities, and it'll be looked at as the same as savings, okay? And this is easy to get. Well, I got to be really careful about numbers I'm showing. So this is easy to get. With these cards, it's just as simple as filling out a job application. It's just a credit application. And as soon as you get approved for $5,000, $10,000 on a card, it's essentially the same as savings. And then what you do is you take that credit and you invest it in just one thing and one thing only. Yourself. You invest it in yourself. You don't work for anybody. You don't spend it on frivolous, ridiculous stuff. You spend it on something that you have a vision and a passion for that is super high up. That is absolutely life-changing. And before you know it, you'll have a full-time staff like me where you'll have almost 50 staff. I've only been in business with Creditor Academy about a year. I started from ground zero. A lot can happen when you invest in yourself. Okay? So that's the second consultation. The third thing that we do is you need structure. Just like everything at Creditor Academy, we don't just do things in consultations. We give you modules and courses to take so you can do step by step. We have tests, we have quizzes, we have instructional videos. We have things put in order to there. So when you get the consultation with one of our representatives, we also give you access to the modules. Now, the modules will probably be ready in a week, okay? But this is a good time to get in right now with the amazing offer that we have right now that we're grandfathering you into this personal credit thing. It should, honestly, I should be charging separate for it. It is such a great comprehensive course. It not only gives you the basics, but it's teaching you to discharge. Like, what? I should be charging for that. But here's the deal. I'm here to help you. I really am here to help you. And I really believe that if you got this one service from us and we were able to deliver on what we said, I think you would trust us the rest of the way. I really would. And we're not, and we're very reasonable for what we're asking as well. Now, the fourth thing that we do is we have a membership. So we do this for members, okay? So what comes with your membership is ongoing support. We don't want you to have a consultation and feel nervous about it. You know, you ever sit with somebody in a consultation? I remember I did this with gurus. You know, I spent over $10,000 just on guru consultations over my time, if not in the 20s. And I remember I would sit there and I was like writing every little thing that they said, and I would be so nervous about questions or if something else come up. And I was trying to use my time as wisely as possible, as quickly as possible too. But later, sometimes I'd be like, oh man, I actually had another question I totally forgot to bring up in there. And what do they tell you? Well, you got to book another consultation or something like that. Part of your Masterclass membership when you get this service is ongoing support. We want to not only give you the instructions, we want to give you the one-on-one support. We want to give you the modules. We want to give you the step-by-step lesson plan. We want to give you the videos so then you have something to watch on your own time with your own schedule. But we also want to give you good priority customer support. So if you do think of something, just drop your representative a message, you know, drop them an email and we'll go ahead and respond to you. Our purpose is to teach you. It really is. So you are self-sufficient. If we can teach you this, you'll be able to help your whole community. Creditor Academy is popular, no doubt. We're gaining in popularity all the time, but not as significant enough of a change to impact your community as much as you could. So it's better for us to send 1,000 of you out that know how to do this properly, so then you can not have to worry about essentially being homeless. I can't believe there's even homelessness in America. The richest country in the whole world, there's homeless people, right? Anyways, so there's that. There's that. Also, with your membership, you then unlock all the other stuff too. You get Sovereignty 101. You get live classes with me. You also get access to all of our other great services as well. And also you're in the private. We bring you into the private. We are a PMA, a private Montessori association. So we're very excited about that. Okay, great. Now let's go over the next thing, which is the lawful stuff. Okay. It's essentially letters. Okay. These letters of correspondences. So this is how I want to tell you the difference between what we do in Creditor Academy in the private and how credit systems work. Okay. If you ever heard a credit restoration commercial, you ever heard that? And you're like, call now if you got credit problems and we'll help you out. You know what I mean? When you call those organizations, this is what happens. Okay. And I've called them before. You go into their nice fancy office. For me, it was in downtown Seattle. You sit down with the representative. The representative says, well, Michael, what seems to be the issue? Yeah, I bought maybe a little bit too much furniture at Macy's or the Bon Marché. They're not around anymore. But I bought too much furniture. I got myself into debt. Paul Michael, how much do you owe? I owe 10 grand, right? Okay. Well, we're credit restoration. So what we're here to do is we're here to help you, okay? We're going to negotiate down your debt. I was like, oh, this is okay. What's the restoration part? And I was like, well, we'll get to that. And he's like, but what can you afford? And they get into your finances and they sit down and they write down on paper and pen what it is that you can afford and all of that. And basically what they're doing is they're building a payment plan, right? Then they call Macy's and they say, I want to buy Paul Michael's debt and I'll give it to you for $7,000. I'll give you $7,000 for his $10,000 worth of debt. They buy the debt. They come back to me on the table and they say, okay, we got it down by $3,000. Let's put you on a payment plan or a big chunk or lump sum for this service. And this is how they make their money. That's what those credit people do. They are buying the debt. They're basically debt collection agencies, just private ones. And they just buy people's debt so then they can go ahead and make a profit off of you. But they disguise themselves as credit restoration. Now, that's one problem with the movement. The next issue with the credit restoration or credit discharging movement is the legal language. You see, there are, you can go on YouTube, or you can go anywhere, and you just say, oh, who repairs credit? Who does this? Who's a professional at it? And you're going to see like 20 or 30 different organizations that do this, okay? Just in your local neighborhood. And everybody's like, oh, call me. The issue is you go and sit with them and they say, oh, well, I do the letters. Oh, I'll go ahead and, talk to the bureaus for you and let's see what's going on. The issue is that the time frame that it takes and also the process that they're using is legal language, not lawful language. You have to use the lawful language. If you utilize the lawful language, you'll get the results like we do, where 9 times out of 10, not all, but most, get the remedy that they're looking for. And things are removed from the credit report, removed from the bureau, and it's a fresh start. Your credit score goes through the roof. All those negative charges are now removed, and now you can go and restart your credit all over again. The lawful language is so important. This is what we teach you. If you don't know the lawful language, then you're not going to be effective for your community. And that's what the end goal is to help people in their time of need, but also to be responsible, okay? You need to invest in yourself, period, bar none. I'm doing the service. I'm helping out you guys to hopefully help out your community, but not to muddy our name. And to muddy our name is to be like, yo, dog, got me a new credit card, homie. I'm gonna swipe that up. I'm gonna get the shots at the club. I'm gonna give me some Gucci. No, you need to invest it in yourself properly. Okay, you need to be responsible, respectful members of society. Okay, do that, and then buy the Gucci. Then buy your staff the shots at the club or whatever. That will come. It comes for, well, I don't buy Gucci, but I buy other things. I really like shopping. I bought that Range Rover. Did I tell you last time? You didn't see my other video on the Range Rover? God, I love that Range Rover. Oh, cars is my thing. But also I'm responsible with it. My other 2 cars are selling on Turo, so I'm making buco money, and I get these amazing cars I get to drive. Oh, the Lexus, oh, the smoothest ride. But the Range Rover, it's a V6 twin turbo. Oh man, you know what? There's another guru. He has what is it? He has like a Hemi Dodge Charger, and he's always riding around in it and recording. And I was just like, man, I want a car that could beat the socks out of his whip. And I believe my Range could do it. Plus, I got the all-wheel drive traction control and stuff like that. Anyways. Plus, I like a little bit more wiggle room. I don't like being tight inside of a sports car. I love being big and all that. Plus, it's an off-roading vehicle. You've never seen a Land Rover like tear it up through a mountainside, or you ever see Top Gear, with those 3 guys? Watch Top Gear and what Land Rover does. I mean, this thing is a beast. It's not only fast and quick and luxurious, but it's a luxurious off-roading vehicle. It's equivalent to Jeep, you know, and in some areas it's better. So anyways, there's my 2 cents about it. But all of this you can have. You can have, but invest in yourself first. Invest in yourself first. Okay. I think I talked enough about that. Everybody, I want to thank everybody for coming here today. It's a very exciting time to be meeting you and wherever you are in your life. And I am so excited about your next chapter because it's going to be a fresh start. And I want you to not only be able to help yourself, but also to join our growing community. Creditor Academy has a large network of like-minded individuals. We meet live in class every single time. You can come live to this if you want to. I'm in front of a live audience on YouTube and on here. You can go to www.creditoracademy.com to click on the YouTube link that's hosted on our homepage. But all the classes that we have are live as well. We want you guys to engage with other like-minded individuals in your local area and abroad. And we're also an international network as well. We got people in Australia. We have people in Canada. We have people in Ireland, in the UK, and other parts of Europe. Yeah, so it's really cool. It's really cool. And this process applies to no matter where you live. That's what I love. Once again, my name is Paul Michael. I am the Dean of Creditor Academy, and I am so excited to go on this journey with you. And for everybody that was watching us on YouTube, if you have not subscribed or joined our private Facebook group, go ahead and do that at the top of our YouTube channel. And I look forward to seeing you this Thursday when we go live again. Until next time, everybody, take care of yourselves and your loved ones. Bye, everybody on YouTube. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Amazing. Amazing. Lawful versus legal.